Christine.
You're being recorded now, so you know.
End up on minutes.
Because if it doesn't, yeah, that's true. That's a good idea. No, we're
But this thing only holds a charge if I leave it shut off. Yeah, well, I get a bunch of oddball text messages on this too.
Is that the first night one?
Yeah. Which I have that and I have to put the hotspot over next month.
Things to remember.
We also had an early operation. There's a couple days of scramble.
Oh.
Oh, there's no deputies busy. Your motorcycle's flipping around town for the last hour.
Also, that $100 bill Craig found at the cemetery that begged them. I turned it into Creighton yesterday.
Oh, did we?
Yeah,
I didn't hear about that.
it's pretty convincing.
Wow.
So I know they're floating around here because he found one, so he was gonna go around yesterday on his trip and advise all the retailers.
Yeah,
You know, take a picture of it.
they should be checking.
Be on the lookout. Okay, that's 7 o'clock. Okay. I didn't report.
Once a year, we get about maybe 4,500.
Oh, yeah. 58. Please ensure your cell phones are either muted or turned off. We'll open the meeting at 7 p.m. Please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amen. Roll call, recognition of visitors.
Right, Greg Bradley,
Here.
Albert Keys,
Here.
Tom Backers,
Here.
Joanne Childs, and Christine Johnson here.
Please sign in if you haven't done so already, and have anybody on Zoom?
Nobody on Zoom
Nobody
yet.
on Disclosure of conflicts for tonight's agenda. I have none. I have none.
I have none.
Okay, approval of the agenda.
I would like to add on the old business, the wording, Mr. Bradley, trustee Bradley, to talk to our legal counsel for the township. I would like to add his language that was returned into the minutes.
Okay,
That would be-
I had that under correspondence C because I saw that.
Okay.
Okay,
You don't,
you just wanted to add it to the minutes?
You wanna add it to,
yes, I want to add it to,
so add it to the, Correspondence A, then
Yeah, former clerk,
it's not former clerk.
So
the legal response
Okay.
attached to the minutes.
So that is the Kalkaska Sheriff.
And for those who are unaware, basically what the prosecuting attorney declined to press charges. Our township council said we could file a civil suit against the former clerk, but it would probably cost more than, the money we could retrieve.
that's
Oh,
not,
that's
not
different.
what
He's
this,
adding another one.
Or you're adding another one?
yeah,
Oh, okay,
that's what this is.
okay, yeah, I saw that. I thought that's what you were.
Oh, no, that's always.
Okay, so when we get down there, we'll discuss that. Okay, any other, changes to the agenda?
I would like to add the Nika Myers, we're gonna be discussing paying them. And there's just some things that need to be cleared up. If we can, I made some copies and stuff here for when we get there, if we can do that, when we can discuss when she brings it up about payment, I guess. Okay,
So we
Tyler
have,
Myers, that was the
that was the attorney that.
attorney for the loan.
That's his
So
homework for the future.
would that be under old business or?
It'll be under the clerk's report. We'll just do it at the same
Clerk's
time.
report?
I have a payment to approve for them.
Oh, okay.
It's all going on it first then.
Okay, I'll make a note of that. Anything else? You had something for parks? Was that, oh, yeah,
I think
the,
it's in here in the Parks report, but we'll want to give them a copy of that. I did see an extra back there to give them, so I'll give them mine when we're done.
and that was the light bulb thing? With, Andrew?
Oh, no, I put that under maintenance or something. No, that wasn't anything about that. The parks that you were talking about.
Yeah, I know, but you wanted to add,
Oh, yeah, I would like to consider adding a person to help with the maintenance when needed. If and when needed, it's not like,
Nothing to add to the agenda then, and we'll just be
other than-
regular.
I got an update on the state police report from Pedals. I haven't got it in writing, he sent a voicemail.
okay,
that would be under old business.
what's that, police report?
So
Pardon?
Andrew Halbert, I got into new business B after engineering plans. But I don't know what the presentation is yet, so
State police.
Andrew Halbert is actually volunteering, but, we'll see what we can do.
So Joanne wanted to add something to,
Yes.
what, unfinished or old business?
Unfinished business,
Okay,
state police report.
and would be under
That's what I put.
C.
Unfinished.
There's no A there. so-
Actually, there's no A there, that was a typo, so that would actually be B.
Okay.
Okay, state report. Okay, now. All right, anything else? Motion to approve the agenda is amended.
Second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, public comment.
Did we do, oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay, hearing none. Got report special order of business. Let's get Mr. Creighton out of here so we can get back to enforcing the law.
Sorry, I'm cutting short.
The month of September, I investigated 15 incidents and 12 property checks and 8 traffic stops. Sheriff's Office handled 73 total incidents. Then on or about September 14th, deputies had responded to an address on Rapid City Road. They observed male principal felony warrants, made contact with them, and he was lodged at Sheriff's Office jail. Then near the end of September, on the weekends I worked, I shifted my hours from 2 p.m. to 2 a.m. instead of 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. and trying to curtail a bunch of driving issues through Rapid City. So my plan is to keep that going forward so I'm told otherwise, so. And then as requested at the last meeting, I've included all my hours, real quick though, in September. For my physical hours in the township, I was 5 hours short. Only had 4 hours for reports and follow-up, which totals about 53 minutes short of my 40.
Who was asking for the compilation of hours?
That was me.
That was you? Did you get that there?
Yes, and then at the very bottom, for all my physical hours in Clearwater Township, at 275 hours, 7 minutes. And time I printed this, I also put seconds on there.
Dougie recording?
Yes.
And I have a job of about 45, 20 hours per month for anybody on the township there.
Any questions for our deputy? Okay.
Thank you.
Awesome, thank you guys. Thank you.
Okay, Spicer Engineering, you have the floor. Andrew.
Stand here? So just a little background, we're with Spicer Engineering, Spicer Group out of Traverse City. And my name is Andrew Farren, I'm a licensed engineer with Spicer Group. There was a request for proposals, that we responded to, that Tom had published maybe about 2 months ago now. And I met with him and Joanne and a few others on the new board as well. To talk about the Township Hall addition and what that scope of work would look like, how that process would move forward. Maybe some floor plan options, and then also some funding opportunities that we knew of, to get some funding for that project. Since then, there's been some parks and recreation projects discussed, and, at that point, Brian Bowles and I, working in the same office, started talking about the different scopes of work, and come to find out he had kind of already looked into a lot of this work with you guys about 2 years ago for a proposal that he wrote at that time, with Gordy. You know, we were kind of going against Gordy Frazier, who was awarded at that time. So we really modified that proposal, is what we have in your agenda packets here. And we modified that with some of the new scope items that we've been talking about, and just really amended it to be, focused on what we understand your needs to be and how Spicer can help, fulfill some of those design and funding opportunities. I did want, Brian over here to just kind of introduce himself.
Yeah, I've met Tom before. With those of you who haven't met him, Brian Gold, Spicer Group. I'm a senior project manager on the civil engineering side. Andrew's on the mechanical engineering. He works with our mechanical, electrical architecture.
I walked the property with you.
Absolutely, Freedom
Yeah,
Park
we
and,
went,
yep. So, we have, certain level of, knowledge or, some of the projects, we looked at the bridge rails and stuff like that. Just want to let you guys know that, we're here and available to help you guys. We have a small crew in our office in Traverse City. There's typically about 10 of us there, but we're a part of a much bigger company of about 300 people based in Saginaw. And, we have a full gamut of services that, that should service your needs as requested. But I just wanted to, kind of refresh what we had sent a couple of years ago and let you guys know that we're definitely still interested in working with Clearwater Township. I'm not from here exactly. I'm from Elk Rapids, but I'm very, very familiar with the whole Torch Lake area. And definitely would be an honor to be able to assist you guys, and certainly look forward to the Parks and Rec meeting. We're kind of opportune time of the year, you get into April when a lot of those DNR grants are due. And, maybe we can start talking.
And you guys do like grant writing too.
We can help with that, like I say, land surveying, whatever your needs might be, but everything from electrical, mechanical, road design, that's me, civil engineering, structural for the bridges. I think we can help you with whatever you guys might need. And just like if you guys have any questions initially, we'd like to kind of sit around and kind of, observe your meeting a little bit, if you don't mind, otherwise. But if you have any questions, we'd like to answer.
Do you work with previous surveys?
Oh, absolutely, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. If projects have been taken to a certain point, we can, if you have, computer CAD files from previous projects, we can pick it up from there and move forward, absolutely, yeah.
Okay, anybody have any questions? And you're gonna send somebody to the Parks and Rec meeting?
Yep.
I'm gonna come to the
Tomorrow
Parks and Rec
before.
meeting.
Okay, so-
And I'll let them know that, the walk down to the parks. I'll make sure that we can do that before the meeting.
Yeah, and it's getting darker early, so if you
Yeah.
need to come a little bit earlier, we can do
Yeah.
that too.
I'll let you know. I'll
Yeah.
find out from them and let you know. A couple of them work. So they can get there earlier or not. I don't know, but some of us can go
Sure.
with you.
Oh, look forward to that, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
One other point I wanted to make was, it sounds like from our last meeting that some ARPA money might still be available and that has to be allocated by the end of the year. So an idea that Brian and I had, was using some of that money to either design some of the township hall additions that we've been discussing, or use that money for some grant writing services that we can help you guys with. So those are two avenues. I'm sure you have many more that money can go toward, but, just keep that in mind if you're having any trouble.
Okay, there's, did we establish the remodel committee last week?
Just started,
Okay.
yeah.
That'll fall on the next board. It's our last meeting as a board, for this, the next meeting is November 21st. And that will be with the new officers and stuff.
Okay.
So, we kind of let that hang, but, we appreciate your work, and I know that we were kind of thorough there, when we, did walk the property, so, Brian has a good idea of what we've got in mind, nature trails and the
Yeah.
ADA pathways and all that stuff.
And Christine remains on the board.
Okay, great.
Okay,
She's-
any other questions? Anybody from the public?
Well, I'm looking here at the ARPA funds, it looks like there's about 170,000 in there right now, I don't think that you're talking those kind of.
Yeah, a fraction of that, obviously, when you take it as far as you want, it just needs to be allocated towards something, in writing by the end of the year, so not to be spent. Alright,
713, I think.
okay, yeah, unfortunately, I don't think there'd be enough time to get like a design and actually contractors to get them together. It'd be more of design and funding and grant.
Anybody else? Thank you, gentlemen.
All right, thanks.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, now down to minutes. Just over, I didn't print them out.
I know what they say.
You have these,
Yes, I do.
what was that?
Say here at the end of the October 5th special meeting minutes, it says that your next budget meeting was October 15th, but you did not get that in the newspaper in time. Is that-
No, I didn't.
It doesn't have to go in the newspaper, it has to go, be posted on the buildings, but no, we didn't get
Right.
it posted in time. So what is posted is that date being changed to next Tuesday.
Okay, and it's gonna be, this Tuesday, 6 at here. And it is posted on the door, so it should have been.
It is, yes.
Yeah, it doesn't have to go in the paper. It's just a workshop. So it's basically a transfer of numbers, gathering, information. And then, the basic work on the budget takes place in a November meeting, and you'll be in charge of that, so presumably. That's if you would. Okay.
He's studying up on that budget, right? You and I both. I would like to make a motion to approve the September 19th minutes.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Okay, October 5th. That was the meeting that was supposed to be, an SJR review, and that was basically sent back to the planning commission. Do you have a copy of those, or did,
That was. there
I
was-
said the second page?
Yep, that was the second. Set of- Oh, right here, sorry. Oh, that's the 19th, that must be it.
October 5th, okay. Okay, I got no problem with this.
All right, so I'll make the motion to approve the October 5th minutes.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, correspondence. Where did he go? Mike Lee, who installed the back bar on the truck. And an emergency light, which was removed. Was that on the, that was on the big truck, the plow truck? Correct. The emergency light, that got yanked off.
Chevrolet, yes, and I removed it.
Yeah, okay. He has a proposal for us. That I don't know if I sent this to you, but I wanted to discuss it. What he wants is to buy the light back.
Right,
Okay,
about that.
I have enclosed an invoice for furnishing and installing the back rack, safety rack for the township Chevrolet plow truck. At the same time that I installed the rack, I also started to install an emergency light on the rack that was purchased by the township. Okay, I propose purchasing the emergency light from the township for a sum of $800. Okay, further propose that the invoice amount for the safety rack of $563.28 be applied to the payment. I will then send a final payment in the amount of $236.72. He'll write a check and pick up the light. Basically, his labor on the rack and the installation was less than the cost of the light.
I didn't catch where this came from.
Okay, basically, the light, is, $800. I don't know what it cost us originally. We'd have to look it up.
Yeah, we can't use it, it's red. And no outside the fire department to run a red light.
Right. Basically, it was an emergency light, red and white.
Craig's requesting this. Okay.
That's why we got the other
He
small.
wants to purchase it back from the township for $800. His bill for the installation came to $563.28. So he wants to use that as a down payment for the light and then write the township a check for the remainder of $236.72. So,
Did we
basically,
never pay a bill for that?
what's that?
Did we never pay a bill?
No, he never sent the invoice. I got the invoice right here.
Oh,
I got this yesterday.
wow.
So, yeah, I called him up
He had
and
told me
clarified.
that he was gonna come and remove the light. And then give you guys an invoice. And after about 3 or 4 weeks, I ended up removing it. And now he's just.
What happened was he had the wrong email address. So evidently he contacted Craig to see if he still had the light, and Craig gave him my email address, which is why I got this. So, basically, just need a vote, voice vote to
I
approve
didn't, still catch.
the purchase
Used as it is.
of our emergency light, which we're not using, for $800, and he will,
He's the one who
basically write us a
he's the
check
one who
for
installed it.
$262 and change.
Okay.
Do I make a motion that we accept the proposals from Light,
And I'll second that. Get rid of that right off the bat.
Didn't we pay to install the light?
No, what it was, the fire department volunteered the red and
I
white
understand
flasher.
that, I'm just asking, who we just paid to install the light, was that?
It was never paid for.
That was, yeah,
But who is the person that's been paying for the installation, is what I'm saying? They're getting the credit.
no, this is for his labor without the installation.
His name is Mike from South Torch Lake. I can't think of his last name.
Okay.
And what's that total?
It says Lee Farm
He's the-
Services.
Cool.
Yeah, Lee Farms.
Yeah, I know what you're talking.
So anyway, he's using the labor as part of the payment.
What is the procedure for disposing of township property? Is it like, is this just how you do it? You just make a motion and approve?
Well, I know we sold 2 trucks. With that, the fire department sold 2 trucks. We put an ad in the paper and basically sold them, and the board at that time approved the sale of the vehicles.
Okay,
So, motion to approve the
okay,
proposal.
okay. Just
If
wanted-
you want, really, you could make a motion to make that as surplus and then make a motion to accept his proposal.
Just whatever ducks in room.
Mhm. The grading and stuff.
Actually, it would have been illegal for us to install that anyway. That's why it didn't get put on.
Because you can't use it.
Yeah, that was John over here in the boundaries.
Any other discussion? Okay, it concerns money and township property. I guess we should have a roll call vote.
All right. Tom Backers,
Yes.
Joanne Childs,
Yes,
Fred Bradley,
Yes.
Christine Johnson, yes, Albert Keys.
Yes.
Okay, for other correspondence, I did have FOIA requests that I wasn't quite sure about, so I contacted one of the lawyer. Basically, what I wanted to know was if the investigation into the break-in and entering last July, a year ago, July, was exempt from a FOIA. What is a public record? And, and he got back to me and said, no, it wasn't. Other than something that's currently in litigation, So, basically, I told Angie to honor the FOIA request. And I believe the individual involved got what he needed. I'm not sure as far as that goes. The other request was for the insurance company's documentation. And I haven't gotten back. The last email I had from Tokyo Marine was the investigator was finishing up her report last Friday, was gonna submit it on Monday to her manager of the company. And I haven't heard back from them yet, so I'll rattle her cage tomorrow, find out what the status of that is. So as far as the investigation's control, none of that is exempt from Freedom of Information Act.
so, I received money, I haven't done anything with it, but I received cash for that. Does that person get that back? Or are we holding it for a while or what?
No, as far as what the
The FOIA request, I got out today, yesterday, whenever, I looked at the envelope and I've got it, it was
Okay.
cash, and I didn't know.
No, that was legit. That was for time and material for whatever it cost to.
That wasn't, no, sir.
Okay, yes, sir, Mr. West.
That FOIA request is you review records. You review records. I'm not asking for a copy. I'm not asking for anything. I'm just asking for the record to be placed in front of me on an appropriate table that I can review. And those records, all of them in that hall, are everybody's here. They're the
No, I
public.
understand that.
So the charge of a $50, when no cost worksheet's ever been drawn up and no estimate, and in years past, I've taken and paid $100 and took me 2 years to get my $100 back. And you, sir, definitely know it because you paid the $100 back.
Yes, I know.
Okay, so now you're accepting $50 from me when I asked to review records because you're gonna redact records of information that should not be redacted.
No, I'm not redacting anything.
Well, that's what I was told. So the reality is,
Okay.
when you ask for a FOIA, and I asked just to review.
Okay, no, I just wanted something to document the request. Okay?
Sure.
Now, whether we filled it out or you filled it out, wouldn't matter. Okay, so now, as far as inspecting the records, have you done so?
No, I haven't been called back to say what
Okay, all
time
right.
to inspect
We
my
will
records.
we will take care of that next week. I'm out of town for the weekend. I will contact you and we will make an appointment to go over what we have.
And while I'm there may be something that leads into a different record that I want. And that's appropriate as well per the law,
Okay,
right?
well, all I wanna know is what you want and
Right.
so either way, what I want is documentation. We need to write it down. Whether we fill out the information that you have requested or you do it, doesn't matter. And yes, he should get refunded his money. If all he wants to do is inspect the record. Now, if you wanna copy anything and take it with you,
Well, obviously.
That's a
I will
different-
do that.
that's a
Take
different-
picture with my phone,
but-
be done.
that remains to be seen. So,
Well, that's-
all right, I will get a hold of you
Yeah.
Monday.
But at your leisure, that's what I said last time when I turned this in. At your leisure, it took a week to get back. That's fine.
Okay. All
I
right,
get it, you're all busy, and I see positive things coming out of this, but this issue is clear. The FOIA law is absolutely clear. It's a little tiny.
like, I just wanted to make sure that an
You called an attorney for
investigation,
that?
the records, the documentation for an
But
investigation.
you called an attorney for that.
We're,
You're the chief legal officer of the township. Silly.
I understand that, and I just wanted clarification from the attorney that these records weren't protected under Michigan law.
Even Angie, the FOIA coordinator, wasn't clear on the reviewing of records.
Right,
And
so
ruling.
all
on
I
that.
did
So
was
she
make
needed
sure
Clarity.
that you could review the records, that you could copy the records, that they weren't protected under Michigan law. That's all I did. Okay, so
What's
that's,
that cost? $700? That's why we're broke, because we're not using our level head anymore, looking stuff up or calling
Okay.
county or using it.
all right.
We have it at the prosecutor's office.
Okay,
We pay for that.
have we resolved the issue?
I don't know, we haven't reviewed records yet.
Okay, I mean, as far as we're concerned, as far as the request goes.
My
So-
question's answered. You can
We will
have-
give you the opportunity to review the documents we have.
Appropriately, so thank you.
Okay, so other than that, so I got rid of, the Mike Lee request. The former clerk, did you want to bring this up or?
I don't have anything on the former clerk. I have something from legal on, sheriff's report on embezzlement.
I thought we closed out the issue with the former clerk. I thought we already, that was closed a long time ago.
Right, well, he has some amplifying information. Would that be,
Not regarding the
Not on
former clerk.
We didn't vote on what to do about that. I think it just let slide.
The prosecutor declined.
prosecutor won't file any
Any
charges.
action.
But the question and it brought up about going civil, up to $6,000, we can go in civil court. And we've got the documents from the
That the
auditor.
attorney already said we're not gonna get any, it wouldn't cover the cost even.
What's the cost of civil court? If all we have to do is have the auditor, that's all, we don't even need to be there.
We have to have our attorney there.
Why?
Who's
In civil court,
going to court?
you take the document, it would be the supervisor at that time, I believe, take the document, the audit from the auditor. This is what he said, and that's all there is to it, then the judge makes a ruling on it. I think it's something that needs to be checked into, instead of just letting it go. But that's my opinion.
Quick question on that issue. If you have a state licensed auditor saying that there was $4,000 misappropriated, and at one time she agreed to pay $2,000 back, and you have that letter, I believe. Didn't you got an offer one time, she was gonna reduce it, it was discussed. Her attorney said, we'll pay $2,000, but, meet in the middle type of deal. But the fact is, if we allow crime to happen for $4,000, I think Joanne's right, small claims court, it's one page, chief legal officer of the township goes up there and you subpoena the auditor if you have to, just bring his report. Don't even bring that to the judge and say, this is what she misappropriated $4,000, we'd like that back. We're not asking for the cost of the audit, we should, because if we don't stop this pilfering that's going on by maintenance workers, clerks, this has got to stop. We have to set precedents in this township. If we're not gonna let you steal $100, let alone thousands. Thank you.
All right. Now, the thing is I'm not a lawyer, so if I go down to small claims court with the audit report, actually would need I'd probably get a hold of Tyler and have him, because he sent a spreadsheet. Okay, basically a summary letter. And, somebody want to handle that other than me? No volunteers?
You mean get
Go
hold of
find
the
out
auditor?
what the appropriate steps are. If we don't need a lawyer, we don't need a lawyer. Basically, what it would be is small claims court make a claim against the former clerk for X amount of dollars with a supporting letter from the attorney.
I guess we have to think, I mean, easy way is just to drop it, but what the people we represent in this township, what would they want?
Okay, the thing about it is you don't want to get, the township lawyer involved at $200 an hour.
Mhm,
So, all right,
definitely not.
I'll put that on my list to do list for next week and at least find out, exactly what it is we need to do that, and I'll contact, Tyler.
And then turn that over to Jim.
What's that?
And then turn that over to Jim.
Yeah, well, basically,
There's
you
nothing
know,
you can do.
that's pretty much it, but at least I'll know, you know, if I can file a claim, it would be,
We went through the proper steps, you know, and
okay,
An affidavit of claim, but it's realistically the trustee's job is to look out for the fiduciary health of the township. So one of these trustees should be spearheading us to get money back. Even if we spend $4,000 and get nothing back, defend it.
Mr. West, I really appreciate everything you have to say, but you really are out of order.
Okay,
yes,
all right,
okay,
Can you just make
Okay.
notes and get us that public comment?
sure, absolutely.
we'll address
Thank
it.
you.
Okay,
The Kalkaska Sheriff's Report.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's just something I would like, add to the meeting minutes. I did, send the sheriff's report of embezzlement to our township lawyer. I was busy at work, so I asked Brad to, contact him. And, this is, Brad's, reply was talk to Brad, that would be the lawyer. And he said, we have done our due diligence. The township had professional investigation done by Kalkaska Sheriff Department, and the report was forwarded to the prosecutor's office, and they declined to press charges, and the sheriff report is marked closed. He also stated the township can bring civil case against served person, but it would cost way more than what we would hope to recover. And that was from, Mr. Greg Bradley. And that was reference to what the lawyer had told him. So
And that is regarding
that is,
the maintenance
The
issue,
Heritage Park.
yeah,
the Heritage Park. Okay,
Just the break in.
just the break.
Can I add to that, what you gave me, is there time? I asked, about the glove compartment, what we found in the glove compartment, we never got a report on that from the sheriff's department. That I could find, I know you did a verbal that the sheriff's told you this and this, it's not any document, so I had to find out, and Joe looked it up, and it was August 6th at 3:45, and Monday, I turned that in to get a FOIA, because I want the lab report of what was tested on that spoon and in that bag. It's like there's nothing there, when there's no FOIA, there's just no FOIA there, so I had to document the date and the time, so they can specifically look at that and see if they can find that. All I heard, someone said it was an officer from, Fife Lake, and I thought, well, maybe it's Grand Traverse County got called in. I don't know, but we have pictures, Joe gave me pictures of what, and I showed that to them, and just waiting on that. And as far as, I'm just gonna add this, when I talked to the state police officer, who left me a message, and I don't know how to transfer that over to writing, but he basically said his part is not done. He's talking to Padnos. He found out that money was taken, they gave John Bielski money one time and a check one time for scrap metal that came in. He's trying to find pictures and other things there. Penrose hasn't gotten back to him yet. And then he said, because I said, what about the taking of the gas that we have on video and charged to the township credit card, which there was a witness that complained about that. That was all given to the state trooper, and he was under the impression that the sheriff's department was gonna handle that. And it's like, Joe and I talked to the state police about that one, so and I sent them the videos, and Greg looked at the video when we first got it from the manager of the store, so there just is still stuff up in the air. And then the ad that went in the paper, we all got emails, I answered, I don't know if everybody else did, but that there needs to be a retraction of that right now. An explanation, there's still some ongoing, because that girl was asking what's going on, and so I think there needs to be a retraction, not just.
The only misstatement in it was that the state, police investigation was closed. Everything else was true.
It was,
The investigation is still going.
No charges were
But
brought.
these people
Right.
involved in the investigation are not involved in the crime. It's not closed and they're still investigating. How can you
The
say?
sheriff's department investigation was closed.
the ad here.
That is the breaking and entering. This is a separate issue.
The other.
They're two different things.
And that's why I brought this up, because I know this is our last meeting basically, and I wanted to put this in there because there still can be a civil case. Yeah, but it's gonna take the lawyer to get involved, along with the new board. And I just wanted to leave this open for them,
Okay.
in case something does come up where the truth finally comes out, or per se, somebody steps forward. Okay, that's why I wanted to put that in a minute.
The ad that went in there, it said this investigation determined there's no involvement by Clearwater Township maintenance personnel in the incident. Mr. John Bielski and Mr. Craig Van Loon have been cleared of any connection with the theft of township property on or about July 23rd. Now, our board cleared Craig, okay? But it's still ongoing on John Bielski, according to the police. So I don't think this is not accurate.
So,
And that's why that person, Rebecca Carlson, emailed us.
I think it's wrong to do that. The only reason being, we should have done that in the last meeting, right? And we did come up with a solution that this whole board approved.
okay. So the correction would be that there is still a state police investigation undergoing the missing scrap metal money, basically.
That and possibly the gas station, when we figure out, according to the state trooper, the sheriff's department was doing that. I don't know, there's too many questions, I can't find answers.
Well,
And then,
you know, that issue was dealt with almost immediately because, from speaking to Mr. Van Loon, he had the one and only truck, as he was out mowing grass and attending. John was taking the township gas can in his personal vehicle to.
I got a video, sir.
I understand that.
Okay.
I understand that, so.
He had his vehicle and he had no cans. It's very clear what happened, and then there are other things, little things that we saw that came in. Kids' toy and different things that were charged to us, they're all little,
Okay,
but it just.
And we're kind of going back to what I want to put in minutes. Okay, the lawyer's definitely aware of the items that were bought that had nothing to do with the township at all. So, and that's why I'm leaving this, I want to just put in the minutes in case something does come up.
Okay,
Where more proof can be made, and then basically the next board will be able to take this up and go with it.
okay. So basically the letter from, the lawyer concerning which, is that the breaking and entering
Yes,
case?
this is, that was, he read the sheriff's, Casco Sheriff's report on embezzlement, that's what he read. He read the whole report.
Embezzlement,
Yes,
okay,
That was
now the
taking-
embezzlement would
Taking
be,
the money
the
from the
clerk.
scrap.
okay, that's the clerk, not the something.
No, actually, no. The Heritage Park break-in has two reports. One is larceny and one is embezzlement.
Oh, okay,
They're both regarding the same incidents.
all right, letter, from the legal on B and E, including in the minutes by reference.
yes. And I gave you both a copy. That's all I had on that.
Okay,
I'll let you know when the FOIA comes in.
okay, let's see. Moving on, treasurer financial reports, bill payments.
This is my last report. This is our last meeting. And, it's been an interesting 4 years. It's been a lot of ups and downs. And, it's been a good experience. I highly recommend everybody do it. I've been involved in the township probably 40 years, but it's always behind the scenes. And it's definitely different sitting here, and you get a better understanding of people in the community. And, I've enjoyed listening to people to be able to make a difference in some of the areas I could make a difference. And, I just appreciate all of you and your kindness. And, one little gift I'm gonna give you is, the new treasurer. She's wonderful. And, she has asked my daughter, my deputy treasurer, to continue, and it's a wise thing for now because it's a big undertaking to do both the taxes and the treasurer. So Dia's gonna continue. Dia's done a great job. She's the one that created this wonderful sheet. She actually, has us being able to pay taxes online. She's still working things like that. She did get a hold of the attorney, by the way, because when she initially, like, years ago, I was told I couldn't talk to the attorney. And she had things that only she could talk to the attorney about, and she talked to him, and he was glad to talk to her about some of the issues that she had. So yesterday or today, she did that.
I sent him a message telling him to contact her.
Did you?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, because you have to. Our stuff that we're dealing with, we can't go through the clerk or the supervisor and hope to get it straight, you know, like that. But anyway, you can see, I'll repeat again, at our first conference meeting together, where we went to learn about treasure, we found out that you can't have more than $250,000 in a bank. And we had 1.2 million or something in Alden, and Alden's always been the one that used. And the president of the Alden Bank was happy that we removed some money, but it had to be done. And so now we have Huntington Bank for 3 accounts, and 2 accounts. The fire fund and the road fund is still in Alden, and she is monitoring it carefully that it doesn't get over 250,000. If it does, then money is transferred in what we call Michigan class instead of doing CDs, which don't draw a lot of money. The Michigan class, as a big organization that takes monies from many people's companies, and they invest. And the investment, you can see on this paper, we were drawing, I think the fire fund gets, where's the interest on that?
It's all
It
in the
was drawing,
treasury.
It was drawing almost $1,000 a month. And the ARPA fund was, I think it's down to $700 a month for interest. So those things are all good, and she's gonna continue to, she's big into policy now, so she said she would help Joan or Jean with policy too.
The road fund balance total is incorrect on the report. And I was just curious, I'm looking here, you mentioned Alden Bank that we used to be quite heavily invested in. Right now, we only have $110,000 in there. And I think we should be using Alden Bank a little more towards the $250,000. They've been good to us, you know, over the years, so I think we're low right now where that should be.
Yeah, but we draw bigger money, interest on the money when it's in Michigan class, but whenever it's needed, it's liquid. I mean, whenever it's needed, you can get. So, and this dropped down because we've been.
The reason, basically, we switched from, most of the money from Alden to Huntington was Alden does the technology involved.
Yeah, it's true.
The credit card payments, the tax fund is still in there. Okay, so basically Huntington, you can do most of your transactions online, whereas Alden, you can't, you have to physically be there. So that was the reason for that. That was almost a year ago.
Right.
Year and a half.
So, but yeah, I understand it was,
I'm just
it was,
saying,
it's a community bank.
you can be part of it.
It's a community bank, I understand it, so, but the tax fund still remains there. And the new board, if they wanna move money back in there, that's their prerogative.
Just ask her, tell her what you want to do, but right now she's just watching, trying to draw the most interest
I
that
get
we
it.
can.
And the road fund balance is, looks like she just didn't add the M-class money into the total for the road fund, that's why.
Yeah, when you add those two together, you can do that.
But
Yeah.
you see the total though, is only 29,000 there.
Yeah, but then you see Michigan Class, you add those two together, then you get the
Yes, but
total.
all the other funds show the total of both, except the road fund.
Yeah,
Oh. Okay,
Okay?
I
okay,
better know that. She's got another job, so it's like, oh, so,
okay, anything else?
I just thank you guys, and it's been good.
But to answer Jim, the reason the fire department stays with all the bank is because they loan money at way discounted rate to the fire department, so.
And we're currently paying them for a fire truck.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
I'm just saying that, that, if you look down it, that's why the fire department is where they're at.
So that's another, actually, the loan for Hoyle Zimmerman will end up falling in the new board's lap too. All this information is through Huntington Bank. So if you wanna check out all the, that's the board's prerogative too.
No, I have nothing against Huntington,
No, I understand, but,
and I know,
I
Mark.
don't know where she got
works
those
with
balance, but
Huntington.
that's not right.
okay, no, I understand.
I have 16,000.
Okay, clerk?
I have 16,000, not 29,000.
Should we get the last
Maybe
payment out
Dee
there?
and I will have to look at that to find out. We just went through and balanced together.
Okay.
And the clerk has some issues?
Yes, I have some issues. Let me put this away. First of all, you should have received your transactions by vendor report. You'll see that we sent the payment to Game Time for the parks playground equipment. In the amount of $44,000, 35 of that was from parks. And 9,000 was from the township, so the township was had to send money to parks for that. To cover our part. If you have any questions on that, please let me know. If not, I would like to make a motion because we've not done this. Even though post audit is already motioned and approved to approve regular payments. We're supposed to still, as a board, approve these payments and we've not done that. So I'd like to make a motion.
Motion to pay the bills.
For these bills that have been paid.
Motion to pay the bills. Do I have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Yes, you're right.
I had a question for the treasurer. When are we going to, I see we're doing something different this year. We're keeping the money in the tax fund. Or before.
For what?
You're keeping tax money in the tax fund.
You have to.
In years past, you used to put it in the fund as they came in.
As soon as we get the checks, they are recorded in a batch sheet. The checks are scanned right directly to the bank. And and twice a month, we have to disperse that to the various places. This is a school, right? This is a school tax, so it goes to the various schools. So sometimes you see money in there, it's because it hasn't been dispersed out, by the 15th of the month and the last of the month, it has to be dispersed out. But when the whole season is done, when we are all done, it will be down to basically nothing.
So when we do our budget, can you supply the board members how much tax money is showed in the budget?
The tax money, it's not part of the budget, it all goes out.
When we go to figure out, you show money in the account, right?
Because it
You're
has,
showing 2025 money in the account as the balance.
Right,
Right now.
Yeah, so how much of that, when we do the budget,
none,
None of that's. coming
none,
to
it all
us,
has to be
the
dispersed
budget.
out. And the administrative fees, we get the administrative fees and that goes into the general fund. So the tax
So we
fund will
don't
end
know
up with
what
zero.
That is gonna come to us.
That's not part of the budget, other than the total millage, that's what you figure, what our total mill is, and that's what you can figure your budget on. Hopefully if everybody pays their taxes.
so what you're
Okay.
saying is you,
well, what I'm saying
the
is,
separate millages.
right,
All right,
When we do
you want a
balance brought
figure of
forward.
what part of the tax money
Yeah.
for budget purposes is.
when I say that I have $200,000 budget to be brought forward, how much of that money is 2025 money?
Right now, it's all 2025.
Well, I'm just saying, when we do the budget, we
Right,
have a line on there that says,
So-
brought forward. But
you should know what your equipment millage proceeds are and your operating millage proceeds are.
Right,
Okay, and what the general fund operating millage is from the estimated taxes. And that won't actually be, that'll get dispersed as it comes in.
Mhm.
Okay, so what he's looking for is a figure.
Like
for
the
budget
fire
purposes.
fund,
In other words, your 1 mil, it's gonna be $173,000.
whatever it is,
Okay,
right.
right, so if you look at the 4029, you should be able to figure that out. Now, as far as the physical money there, that would be as the checks clear the bank.
the end of November, we'll be sending out the winter taxes, and they are due February 14th. And over that time, all that money will be coming in, and it'll be dispersed to the fire department and to the township, because we're getting a mill now, right?
Just
From
under.
0.6.
Yeah, cause,
Just under.
And, yeah, and
this one was school millage and summer
This is
taxes.
just school.
Can we get back to the clerk?
yep, go ahead.
Okay,
No,
I received an invoice from Kalkaska Funeral Home. For the Sullivan disinterment,
yeah,
and we paid the sexton. And then my time and Angie's time, but they also put time into getting that organized. They're the ones who contacted the health department. And according to their invoice, they put 24 hours into time into that whole
Right.
process. So they invoiced us $1,475.
And we paid how much already?
I don't remember.
The
what we
section was
paid
like
for the sexton.
3,500 or something, I mean, to transfer, huh?
3250.
3250.
Yeah,
We had to
so-
move, we had to transfer a body from one grade.
so this was just handling the paperwork. basically.
and talking with the family. I don't know what his billable
Well, that's
hours
pretty
were
simple.
actually for. But I told him I'm not paying that bill without board approval, so I'm
Right.
asking, do I go ahead and pay this bill?
Did they itemize, or they just give you a
No,
total?
all it says is 24 hours and, one charge of $275 for moving the marker.
What? Moving a marker?
Mhm.
You mean the gravestone?
Right.
Yes.
Oh.
Okay, motion to pay the funeral home. I have a second. It's our mistake.
who do we pay, I mean,
That's our mistake.
that come out of
It,
the cemetery funds or?
it will come out of the cemetery budget, yeah,
That was the only question I had, so, and it was our mistake. Somewhere along the line,
somewhere along the line, yeah,
but, what is
It's the marker situation.
yeah.
I second the motion.
which
Okay.
still hasn't been completely addressed.
Cool. All right.
We're trying to straighten out the cemetery, by the way. This could be a committee.
Where's the cemetery fund down here? What's that under?
That's all
It's in the
individual.
general fund.
That's part of the, for accounting purposes, but cemetery is.
Was that Calpasas for now?
Yes. The next one is municipal underwriters. They're,
Vote on that.
yeah. Oh, we didn't? Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. I wrote it down. I have the second. Thank you, Tom. That's gonna be a roll call? Yes.
Roll call vote.
All right. Albert Keys,
Yes.
Joanne Childs,
Yes.
Tom Backers,
Yes.
Greg Bradley,
Yes,
and yes for myself. Thank you.
Send a letter of apology.
So the next one is the municipal underwriters. We, at the last meeting, decided to wait on this, with the idea that we would look for a different insurance company. I did talk with, at the MTA conference, an insurance company, and they said it is not a good time to switch, especially if you've had loss. They're not gonna wanna take on a new client that has a lot of loss, which we have all of these claims going right now. And they also said that they're not looking for new clients that are less than $100,000 for the, payment for, claim. So their suggestion is stay with Par Plan because it's one of the best that we could possibly get. But they also recommended that with the new board, we invite our agent to come and present Par Plan to us and then possibly review our policy and see if there's any way we can get it lowered. So for the next board, we're gonna possibly do that, but I do need to approve the payment for the renewal of the Michigan Township Par Plan, which expires on the 13th of November. And the cost for that is, let me get the breakdown for it. because-
it was on your report there.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wrote the check for it. I didn't actually send the check. It's right here in my hand. So that is $14,644 for the fire department and $17,752 for the board, plus an accidental death of $1,021 for a total of $33,417.
So you want to motion to approve renewing the contract? with-
Yes.
What is it?
I'll make a motion to
Municipal,
approve
what?
Municipal underwriters, you can make the
Yeah,
motion.
municipal underwriters. So moved.
You're
Do I have a
the
second?
second. You're the second. Joanne's already the first.
Okay, I'm the second. Okay, and I'll get a hold of Paul and have him show up at the next board meeting, the 21st, to go over the insurance policy with you.
I was thinking that doesn't sound that bad, it's $3,000 a month. For about the fire department.
Well, the reason ours is high, we insure the trucks for replacement cost, not market value.
I was just saying, I don't really feel that's kind of high.
That's why it's high, because you have 3 trucks that are barely new and they're replaced,
I mean, and was it last year we raised the deductibles to lower costs?
yeah, we did.
Oh, how,
Did I do that again?
Okay,
Yes, I did. Thank you. I'm just trying to get through these things. Tom Backers,
yes,
Greg Bradley,
Yes,
Joanne Childs. Yes. Albert Keys?
yes,
Christine Johnson, yes. Thank you so much. The next set I have are 3 payments that I wrote checks for out of the Metro Fund for receipts that were submitted to me. I already, talked to Joanne, but, this one had my name on it and signed by somebody I don't know.
My husband, trying to help, I
Yeah.
explained when it came in to Angie, we were trying to fix a spigot to be able to get our water thing, and he without thinking went down there and got it, I said, can't do that.
Charged it
But,
to the name
I
of.
said, I'll pay for it out of my
Gilroy's.
pocket, but anyway, he did, and they let him down there in Gilroy's, so then
Okay,
like.
so that is, it says on here for the water wagon for the islands,
Mhm.
and,
That's-
I just wanted to make sure that that was a Metro approved payment.
Yeah, well, it's a highway, it's in the right of way.
In the right of way.
Only the watering is
How
done
much
by
was it?
the volunteers that are playing.
Is it less than $1,000?
It's, yeah, it's just a pennies.
And where's it come out of?
$6.78.
Parks and Rec,
No, Metro.
Metro, oh, they're right, okay.
All right, and then the other one is another one, for Metro from McLean's Hardware, and I think these are also,
I did those,
for the spruce tree.
was on a
I
Saturday.
just wanted to make, it's because they're Metro and we haven't budgeted our Metro fund, so I want to approve these as Metro payments, and then reimbursing Joanne for $46.40, so I have 3 payments. One for Gilroy's, one for McLean's, and one to reimburse Joanne from the Metro fund. And
It was
so,
on a Saturday, they were lighting the tree, they needed extra stuff, and I just did it, so.
I don't know how the Metro fund is supposed to be spent. Is that by approval, or is that just, hey, that's a free money fund, we can spend it if it applies?
If it applies. But, so I need a motion to approve these bills from the Metro Fund. What's in it? No, the Metro Fund,
Oh, I
There is
know.
they're okay there?
Yeah,
It'll be 5,000.
Yeah, 25, 25.
Okay, so we need a motion to pay
the Metro fund.
those bills. Are they, basically paying from the Metro Fund?
Yes,
Not to approve the bills separately because the money's
Right.
already spent. Okay, motion to pay the bills from the Metro Fund.
Second,
Tom Backers,
Yes,
Greg Bradley,
yes,
Christine Johnson, yes, Albert Keys.
Yes.
Joanne Childs.
Yes.
Thank you. Those out of the way, and then I have the Mika Myers, or I'm assuming that's how you say that. This is the attorney, at Nettleton. Mark Nettleton.
This is the one I wanted to discuss. They first sent, and it was coming to me, and I don't know why their bill was coming to me, but it came to me the first time, and I didn't take a look to see it wasn't to the whole board. I know it pertained to me, and then it came again, and, for another amount, and I explained to her, I apologize, and I said, and then I sent an email to Christina, it needed to go to her. I guess my question is, we're paying an attorney, now this new balance is $2,685, and what have we accomplished for that? Because, Mr. Bankers, again, I'm sorry, but the ad in the paper said, Clearwater Township Board, a regular board meeting on June, and it's talking that, we did the resolution, a loan in the amount of $1,200,000. These funds are to be used. This is not what the road committee recommended to us, and this is not what we voted on. The resolution 8, I copied it off there.
I got it,
Huh?
I got it.
But we're spending all this money to the attorney and.
The attorney was recommended by the road commission chair.
Yeah, and we approved that.
And I agree, but this here, when I saw this, and it's there for, total 1.5 million in this, and we haven't even come up with the amount, but all this money.
You don't have a contract agreement with the bank, any bank yet,
Okay,
okay? All this did, the resolution was the board approved to apply for a loan.
Yeah.
For up to 1.5 or 1.2, whatever, I believe it was 1.2 in resolution 8.
What I asked, and my number said was 763,000.
yeah, and that's what the board approved and on June, I was on June
Okay, well, you
20th.
can make the loan for whatever you want.
Right.
Okay, I was looking at, basically the other option of 1.2.
I was just
When I
wondering. if you
wrote
picked the
that.
Wrong one.
But basically what that was for was to inform the public, okay, that the board approved an Act 99 loan for the repair and reconstruction of Hoyles and Zimmerman roads. That's all that was for. Okay, it was just a synopsis of the resolution.
But it says a loan in the amount of 1,200,000, and that's not accurate.
Okay.
That's not accurate at all, according to even our vote on proposition,
Basically, the figures you got,
what I'm trying to say is, we are getting bills from an attorney up to 2,685, and we haven't accomplished anything.
that's right.
But how much did we agree on up to a certain amount? I don't know if it's gonna go over the amount that we initially said.
Okay, so
3,500.
But there's been hours spent and it wasn't spent according to what the board approved. Whatever, those hours. There was a lot of hours spent talking and discussing, but not discussing that the road committee came to us and we voted on, is what I'm saying.
It's still part of the preparation, loan preparation.
As long as they get the accurate numbers, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I mean, that can,
But what I
that's gonna
recommend
happen when we
is
actually apply.
what he got is the Act 99 resolution, which is a separate issue. You have to get a contract from the bank, okay, under Act 99, pass the Act 99 resolution approving the loan. Okay, so that you can execute the contract. Now, the contract can be in any amount for up to 15 years. All right, so what he did, and I brought it up at the last meeting, and I left my packet here, so somebody has 2 copies of the Act 99 report, for which this is what we're being charged, which I think is outrageous, but because Act 99 is pretty simple, it's just boilerplate language. But the loan contract, you deal now with the bank. All right, and the Act 99 resolution, I don't know what Smith, Alzheimer Young charged for it, for the fire truck. I have no recollection of what that payment was. But yeah, this was under the recommendation of the road commission chairman, road committee chairman, that we contact these people. This is the result. So
my concern is, how much is it gonna cost? Cause this should go to the next board to take care of it.
yes,
Yeah,
It will.
and then how much more is it gonna cost the attorney to redo something? That's my.
he's not redoing anything.
Okay.
The
It's
Act
not the
99
big-
resolution that
it's not
he
the-
wrote is gonna be forwarded to the next board.
Okay,
Okay, at which point the next board will have to
decide the amount.
get the particulars of the loan
Okay.
from any bank with the number, with the interest rate, the payment plan, all that. Sign that contract and then, well, actually pass Act 99 resolution
Mhm.
to sign the contract and commit the township for the balance of the loan over the contract.
I just the ad, and I had that same person, different people asked 1.2, and I said, that's not the amount of the.
That's what I originally
Yeah.
spoke to him for when I called him up the first time in September. Okay, we were looking at several options for Hoyles and Zimmerman, and one was the complete repair of the drainage system instead of just the cap, which is what you guys decided on. And I gave him a range of 1.2 to 1.5, depending on the inflation rate, which at the time was like 30%. Okay, so a little bit of wiggle room, and this is what they came back for, and that's what I put in the paper.
Okay.
All right, are we clear? And that paperwork, I brought it at the last meeting, I intended to give it to you, and I left my package here. Somebody walked out with it, but I will print that up to it, and when we do, assuming you get elected, okay, I will sit down with a meeting with you, and tomorrow I will forward you that information, because I printed it out, I'll just include you
I
on
think it was included already.
the whole thing.
So I
Yeah.
have 3 invoices and a total of 2685 to pay to Mika Myers for the preparation of that paperwork.
She knows your
And-
contact email.
I wanted to make sure that I did this right. I wrote it out of the road fund. I'm assuming that that's
Yes.
where that,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
so I would like, I guess I don't need, do I need approval? We've already
Yeah.
approved this payment, or do I need approval?
We need to pay this bill, we're
Okay.
spending township's money, roll call vote, please. I'll make a motion that we pay Mika Myers for the preparation of the Act 99 resolution in the amount of $2,685. Is that correct?
Yes,
Second motion.
all right. Greg Bradley,
Yes.
Christine Johnson, yes. Joanne Childs?
Yes,
Tom Backers?
Yes.
Albert Keys?
Yes.
Thank you. I have one more, you guys. Wait, no, I don't. This is part of the fire department reimbursing the township, so do I need,
No, you just take them out of.
for insurance?
We're robbing Peter to pay
Okay,
Paul.
okay. That one's good, that one's good. Last thing,
Okay, we're done.
no,
No, one more.
the auditor, invoice for the year end, March 31st, 2024. Total amount due $9,500. And along with that, well, okay, probably should do that separately. Also need to approve the corrective action plan presented by the auditor to us for the state, who is asking us for a corrective action plan for our budget discrepancies.
Right.
Our auditor prepared that for us, so his bill was a little bit higher because he also had
Yeah,
to do
that
that.
The extra.
So that letter will have to be approved by the board before I can sign it and send it to him to send into the state. And I also need a motion to approve his
5
payment.
days ago.
Which one of these are we approving there, Christine?
Basically,
This one is
the
that.
corrective action plan first.
I can't see what you're.
Come on.
Wait, let me get my bifocals on.
I got one dated September 21st and one October.
Okay, the one on, you're right, this big corrective action plan,
Is correct
yes.
one, okay.
State of Michigan. That's how we've been operating, but we didn't put it all on one page.
And then we have to implement that corrective
Yeah.
action plan.
That's true. Well,
So
don't see
I
it.
will make a motion,
Go ahead.
okay, motion that we approve the
Correct.
corrective action plan presented by the auditor.
Second.
I'll second that.
I'm ready.
Oh, we did, okay.
And does that need a roll call for it? We probably should. Tom Backers,
Yes.
Greg Bradley,
Yes.
Joanne Childs,
Yes,
Albert Keys.
Yes.
Christine Johnson, yes, thank you. I will sign that and get that sent to Tyler. And the other is the
Now
motion
pay
to
the
approve
accountant.
the motion to approve. I will make the motion to approve the invoice of $9,500 to pay the auditor.
I'll second that. And Tyler's pretty good, by the way. If you pick up the phone and call
He
him, even
is.
if you get his voicemail, you get a call back the same day.
Yes. Joanne Childs,
yes,
Greg Bradley,
Yes.
Albert Keys,
Yes.
Christine Johnson, yes, Tom Backers.
Yes.
Thank you. I think that is the last of my items. Thank you so much.
Sheriff's Department written report, I forwarded that yesterday, I believe. I thought I
Yes.
forwarded it
Yeah.
earlier, but
You probably did. I think it was buried in other emails.
fire department.
All right, department had last year 24 requests, or last month, 24 requests for service. That should be for September, sorry, some apologies. Retraining session, lift station 2200. We installed new tires on the squad, a little bit more aggressive and a little bit better in some of the sandy areas. So we have to go in for brush tires, medical runs. DOT inspections, Department of Transportation inspections have been completed. I think we just, engine needs to be done, but all the rest, had their preventive maintenance and DOT inspections. And then we had a couple of members, complete the flashover training. I don't know if you guys seen the big trailer out there that blew a lot of smoke. So that's a simulation of a flashover inside of a fire, so you kind of recognize the, smoke patterns and things. Yeah, it was good training for the folks. And then the Rapid River contract that I gave to you, that was sent to us last year.
This was the old one that finally
That's
got
the
to
old
us.
one. I don't know, I've been in contact with Valerie, I opened up a line of communication with Rapid River Township for the clerk. So she wants some run data submitted to her every quarter, which I'll do. So we're just in the process of trying to get this contract signed to get the money for it that we've already provided the service for. And then we've already sent her the 24-25 contract, which they should have been proactively sent to us. But we just kind of made it up and sent it to them. So next we just have to have that signed by supervisor and the clerk, and then get that sent over, and hopefully we get our payment for last year's services, and then move forward for this year.
Did they pay us?
I don't have Christine,
I haven't received it
Yeah.
yet, Joanne would know.
yeah.
This needs witness, would you witness it, please?
Mr. Chair, for me,
Yes.
I do have a question. How many members do you have?
8,
8?
You're just witnessing her signatures.
7.
Just over here.
Mhm.
Yeah, with our, kind of our new master plan that the factor presented last month, our rising
Okay,
demographic.
we approved the 24.
What was it,
letter
50 to
to send to them
65?
for the new
Yeah,
contract.
they-
Rising
last month.
demographic.
Yeah. So they owe us 2
We're
checks.
not getting young people in the township to join the fire department.
The fire department, 2 checks.
So, yeah.
Okay, anything else?
Nope, that's it. for me. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, planning commission.
Planning Commission report, 10/17/24. Land use permit was approved for Mullen, 7726 Rapid City Road, tax ID 004-016-011-30. Basically, it's gonna be ice cream storage. No further action needed. Public hearing is set for 11/4/24. At 7 o'clock, Little Red Schoolhouse, rezoning of tax ID 004-004-059-16. 004-004-60-10 and 004-004-050-00. This is, location is,
A lot of rock.
a lot of rocks, yeah. So it's those 3 parcels right there. And then he wants, it's an R1 right now, and he wants to go to commercial light industry. Is that correct, Dan?
Does that include the house, the residence?
That-
House is excluded.
No, that includes the house now.
Yeah, because I talked to Ed about 2 months ago.
Yeah, originally it was excluding the house, but we talked to him. So that is set. Okay, number 3, short-term review will begin in January. Number 4, master plan public hearing will be set for December 6th, Little Red Schoolhouse at 7 o'clock. Master plan draft will be added to the website,
Time?
7 o'clock.
Okay.
That's 1900 for you. That should also be posted on the doors of the hall and this door as well.
Basically post the notice.
Yes. Number 5, update of current map was discussed and will be looked into by Secretary, and I'm gonna, Garak, Number 6, the cemetery ordinance was tabled until the township board gives written specifics on what they want looked at. There's a lot of hearsay, what the board wants, and, basically, the planning commission has decided they're not gonna, we want specific things of what this board wants looked at. Okay, number 7, question was asked by a citizen about grants to help the township obtain the purchase of the property for sale, which is the old body shop. The belief is the building land could be used for multi-uses and be a center for attraction for the township, which I thought was a good idea. That's.
You're talking about right here?
Yeah, right here, the body shop is for sale. It was, a lot of people chimed in, and I thought everybody thought it was a good idea, to something to be looked at as far as grants. Anybody have any questions for me?
I have a question. I've heard about this ice cream storage. Can you explain what's that gonna be?
Basically, that's what it's gonna be, he's a distributor, and
Okay.
basically, the ice cream's gonna be stored there. And then I think he has like 2, maybe 3 trucks, and then they will disperse.
Take it from there to the-
Swans or something?
No, I don't think he had, I didn't catch the name.
I don't know the name of it.
Yeah, I don't know what the,
Whatever brand of ice.
they're originally from downstate, and now he's living up here, and he's gonna move his business up here.
Oh, okay.
And did I hear you say he's gonna put a house there too?
No,
Oh, okay.
I think there was a couple different brands you said that they're gonna be storing.
anybody else have questions for me?
No, moving on, zoning.
You guys have my report. Getting some pretty good of compliance wise with the problem houses, so that's been good. Looking at the raising the fee for the commercial application, kind of a little bit harder than I thought it was gonna be. I just figured I'd go, look at, go to Antrim County and see what's your fee for this? Well, obviously they have their own zoning, so it's down to individual.
You have a recommendation, make it,
Yeah, okay, I wanna get something that's fair and equitable when it's in the.
stick it in an email, send it to the board.
Other than that, any questions?
I do.
Yes, sir.
Has the commercial towers ever been assessed in the zoning side of that are, there's somewhere around 3 or 4 of them in townships, I believe, and they're commercial towers, commercial telecommunication towers. And they're sitting on what I believe is residential property. That seems to be inappropriate. You should rezone a section around the tower if it's used for commercial because the taxes. So, and I think that that's been brought to the attention of the tax assessor, but to quote at the time, I don't have anything to do with zoning. Well, I disagree. She does because she taxes off zoning classification. So there is some correlation there. So maybe that's something that you could talk to her and maybe get a plan, some way to handle that because it's money for you.
That would probably be, actually, if you do a little research, would have to be action by the township to rezone a certain portion of whatever parcel it's in as commercial, so it can be taxed as such.
Well, I just know that there's safety things involved in communications. If I had them next to my house, I would be concerned that those safety standards are not being met or are being, I just want to make sure they are being met for the safety of the adjacent landowner.
This goes back to the M72 tower that,
Yeah, absolutely.
RG.
There's still many more here locally.
I'll answer it as zoning administrator. It's been brought up to my attention. It's something that needs to be addressed and it's gonna be brought to the board.
Okay.
One more question, has anything been done about the person, have you been able to talk to him? Who put the, brush blocking, under her road coming into
I
Dundas?
have not heard anything else on that. I don't know.
I was asked by the people if anything was
Were you
being done.
aware of that, Jim? I thought we talked to you about looked at it, that's not.
Underhill?
Big pot. No, I was out there the other day and people were just going around it. Yeah.
That's what he's trying, the person, you'll find out next meeting when you get the treasurer, you'll find out more.
I think he's trying to move the road
Yeah,
to the,
you
I
can't.
guess, to the west, right?
Yeah, you can't move a county road. But
But I'll talk to the gentleman that complained about it.
Maybe the planning commission should look into the commercial tower thing. Take a look around and see what everybody else is doing. Mr. Packer, can we put that on your agenda, do a little research on, commercial telecommunications towers
you might
and
not,
how they're treated tax wise?
I would just say, the planning commission's focus is gonna be on short-term rentals. And that's gonna be coming up quick, so, you
Well,
already
yeah.
got the cemetery.
This issue's only 10 years old too, so.
what issue,
Commercial towers.
10 years old?
15,
Way back when Grimm was in.
Well, I
It
know
was
that,
put
but
up
what I'm
as a
saying is,
windmill.
to my knowledge, it was brought up when I was on the planning commission.
Oh.
Okay, I mean, we're fighting over that tower on M72 when AT&T.
Oh, no, they're talking about other tower. I think.
We just need to make that.
Any of the towers.
In 20 years. And make policy that address, okay, happening.
The one that was put up behind me was a windmill. It was
Anyway, John,
agricultural, so.
if you could ask around and point us in the right direction for some questions.
Yeah, well, I think, and Dan and I have talked about this, just a minute ago here, but I think it's perfectly fine to have a tower in a residential area, but it's how it's taxed. And I think that's,
So that would be a rezoning issue, and that's gonna create other problems.
it's not rezoned, you're not gonna rezone it. But you're gonna be taxing it as being a commercial.
It's a commercial enterprise.
The property is taxed on the way it's used, not on the way it's zoned.
Correct.
So you can have a residence in a commercial zone and it's gonna be taxed as a residence. A lot of rocks has been being taxed as a commercial operation because it is, even though it's on residential. So the way it's taxed isn't necessarily dependent on how it's zoned. It's taxed on how it's used. If that makes sense.
Okay. All right, which would be then an issue for the assessor again, so we're going around in circles.
She's coming around to my house.
Okay. Dawn, question for Dawn. Towers. That was passed and why?
Okay, you got a short report.
Yeah. The short one.
Okay. Kevin's not here. Maintenance.
Maintenance. As the fall arrives, we're doing the last of the mowing to get ready so we can mow leaves easily. We've already started at the cemetery. We've been trimming the bushes and the trees along 72, along the, or, wait, not 72, Rapid City Road. And, like to clear up where you can now see the speed limit signs. And along the sidewalks to allow not only the walking and the bicycle people, but the, snow blower when that time comes, to get by. We do have the tractor back, it's running well. And, I haven't yet got a hold of the Hendersons, but we have been in contact and they're ready to deliver some rocks for us as soon as we want, and we'll start swapping out the split rail fence for some rocks. Around the 1st of September, Parks and Recreation bought 400 to 500 foot of hose for the trees, to water the trees. And that was their solution. And it is a lot more labor intensive. It doesn't shorten up the time that it takes to water them, because you've got to pull the hoses out, do all that, pull them from tree to tree, whatever. But since they do have the hoses and they've spent $500 on hoses, it may make the purchase of a trailer for that water tank unnecessary. it's too wide to use on the sidewalks for any of that. The tank is 54 inches wide, so even that won't fit on the sidewalks. So at this point, we may want to hold the purchase of the trailer and push it off to, if it's necessary, next year. If we find that that's what has to be done, that's what I would suggest.
Either that or buy a smaller water tank.
Yeah, they have a smaller one, but what would be optimum for the parks, and this, I don't know whose budget would come out of this, something in between the 325 that we have and the 65 that they have, somewhere in the 200-gallon range, that a actual small trailer that will fit on the sidewalk will carry without getting crushed.
Yeah, but right now you've got hoses.
Right now, I've got hoses.
So you don't
I've
need
been
the trailer.
using them since, I think Tim used them for a couple of weeks, and I've been using them since he's been gone.
Right, so you don't need the trailer.
No, we can go ahead and there's $2,000 right there that we can put back in the pocket.
But he was looking at, and it made sense, we were talking about get rid of the two that we have. We have a 65-gallon tank, and we have a 350-gallon tank. We could actually use a 200-gallon tank. I think he figured out weight-wise, and he figured out a trailer could be used. He could pull it behind his tractor and water the islands next year, because the
The
people that
little
do
John
it.
Deere would,
Tractor would go on the sidewalk. You need a trailer that's narrower at the wheelbases. It has to be less than 48 inches.
yeah,
And there, you're almost limited to no more than 200 gallons because of weight wise.
yeah.
We, in the office here a few weeks ago, we went through a few. A lot of what we had to choose from were, because we were just doing it spur of the moment, were built tank and trailer specific, and so they were a little more expensive. I don't know whether they wanna, whoever owns the tank wants to sell it. to try
That's
to get-
something that would basically be a budget request for next year.
Yeah, that would have to be something that, like I said,
Suggestion anyway, so.
yeah.
It's either Parks or the township that owns both those tanks.
Pardon?
It's either Parks or the township that owns both those tanks, the big 350 and the 65.
And I, like I said, I don't know if somebody wants to, or whoever, whether, I don't know who owned them, if we wanted to keep it because we own it and you never know when we will need it, or if they wanted to
Well,
sell it to get a smaller tank.
Of course, the carnival was held out here last year, but if they do go back,
If it doesn't go out here, we need the tank to supply, water for showers and washing dishes.
right,
That's what we use
Oh,
it
is that what
for.
that was? about?
Yeah, that's what we used it for out there.
well, that's something that needs to be dealt with next
That'd
year.
be something you can consider in a budget for next year when they're doing the budget thing,
Right.
or Parks, and probably Parks. But no, yeah, because we're doing along the road, so we're doing it, so.
Yeah, because it would pretty much be
That
specific.
basically would be, the function would be for the trees, and at Heritage and basically, up and down the
Up and
island.
down the sidewalks. I had an idea, like I said, a piece of PVC with some holes in it, and you just drive along, open the tank up and drive along and dribble the water onto the
Gravity feed.
flowers as you go, yeah.
We had a couple that volunteered, they're both in their 70s, and they call her Lucy, she broke down, they put $275 here, and the only reason they repaired her is to volunteer to help water,
We
so.
talked about a leaf plow. I don't know if you've seen one in action. You've seen one in action. I have a video if anybody's interested. They clean up an incredible amount of leaves in a short time, versus picking them up by hand. We had a bid for several items from Ferguson's. Their bid aren't good for very long, only like 10 days. I got another bid. It's a little bit more than, I think they're up about $150 from over the springtime, but everything is up since springtime. If that's something that we consider it,
Well, how much?
$989.98, and that's
Under $1,000.
with them mounting it onto the gags too.
And this is from Ferguson's.
Yeah,
Motion to approve the purchase of a leaf plow for Ferguson's.
$600,000, you can actually do that, so.
Always vote, just to approve the spending of the money or?
What do you want?
Just authorize purchase of it, to tell the first
Get it.
money something.
Okay, I'll call
Tell me where the money comes from.
Northern Michigan, oh, I'm sorry, what?
I withdraw my motion.
Okay, you still have to tell me where it's getting paid from.
Where it's gonna come from?
Yeah, is that a metro purchase since it's for the flowers along the street, or is that
No,
a
this is for.
parks?
Mostly the
Parks and
cemetery.
cemetery.
Parks and cemetery?
Yeah, basically it's parks and cemetery, and
And
I don't
accesses.
know. You would use it here
Yeah, I'm.
briefly.
Yeah, well, yeah.
It's
actually,
basically a
quite bit
general
of-
fund
Oh,
expense.
yeah, leaf plow, leaf plow.
Yeah, this is where you saw me out there
Yes,
last
yeah.
year, piles of leaves, it's amazing how many leaves fall along here.
50% park, correct, 50% general fund.
50-50 deal.
Yep, it belongs, to everybody gets.
Cemetery, I use.
How many leaves you get at the firehouse?
Cemetery, I use it.
In the parks.
So that was-
So, actually, we use it.
Actually, the
I get a
cemetery
lot more
is
use in
over
access.
right now, so
Freedom is, we use it
Do you use it?
Freedom on this side, but
Do
the
you use it
access,
for the fire department as well?
pardon me?
Do you-
We don't have
use
any.
this, the
We
fire
don't have
department?
any. We don't.
No,
Okay,
Not-
yeah, well, you
not
got,
typically. They're just the way the wind blows, they don't get anything over there.
but you do the public accesses with it
They
too.
do the public accesses, do Freedom Park, these two buildings and the cemetery.
Would that come in handy for the normal spring cleaning brush piles you find from private residences in the public access?
Yeah, it can be used in both the spring and the fall, as well as the.
Everybody uses them for dump sites in the spring.
So where's the money coming from?
50% parks, 50% township.
50-50?
Now, in Freedom Park, you blow most of it right in the woods when you can, you don't just try to pick it all up, right?
Yeah, Freedom Park, I can blow most of it in the woods, but you're still talking, if I have it in a pile and I can push it all, I'm still faster than if I blow.
Okay. Whatever, sounds good.
Yeah, we were just approving the.
I'm just,
Okay.
Northern Michigan rescheduled, they were over changing doors at, Elk Rapids, and they got into a lot of stuff. And so they came over Wednesday to meet me or Tuesday, to meet me, to tell me that they had to reschedule us, they were gonna try to get here by Friday. We'll see, but they said we are, as soon as they finish Elk Rapids schools, we're the next on the list.
For the irrigation system?
No, or the door.
For the hinges, they have to,
Oh, okay.
yeah, they're gonna not put.
I noticed another piece laying there.
They're gonna put hinges, they're going to redo the threshold and a new, sweep.
Okay,
Because the scraping against the old threshold has wiped out the whole
Right.
street. Scott's well, I have not heard back from them, so this afternoon, I left a message with clubs. To find out if they can chlorine that well and just replace the pump at this point with not expensive, but the pump at Freedom West takes two hands and, you can't be an infirm to get water out of there. It takes a lot of effort to get some water out of there.
so that's the only one that would need.
That's the
replaced.
only one that is the rest of them tested fine, and they pump well, they do well, they pump easily. That one there is just, I don't know what happened to that one.
Okay, so we got clubs.
And the other thing Joe kind of addressed is the cemetery issues. At the rate we've sold them this year, we're going to be out of spaces by the end of next year, or middle of, middle of like 2026.
So that was another thing on my due list, was getting the back 5 acres of the cemetery surveyed and marked out.
That's, if that's what we're going,
That's a major project.
But we've got to the point where there's nothing that's even close to what we charge. The cheapest one in the whole area is $350. The most expensive one is $600,
So plot cost?
and that's per
Flat
area.
roof, that depends on 2 plot or 4 plot.
if you buy 4 per month, it's $400. If you go over to Mansalona, it's 1,400. If you go to Elk Rapids, it's, 2,000. And it just varies around and.
Yeah, we haven't addressed.
We've sold, because of the cost, we've sold probably 15 or 20 this year. Because people will call around and find out that we're so cheap, they can't afford not to bury their people here.
That price change
Why don't
has to be-
I-
That has to be made by resolution.
We've had a cremation.
I would make right now, let me interrupt.
Yep,
I would make a motion, we double our plot prices.
That has to be done by resolution.
Yeah.
What,
It
yeah,
has
to
to
do
be
that
done by
by, that's right,
Well, and
we're amending an ordinance. Okay,
You said they're 100 right now, I thought there were 200 right now, they're 100 right now?
I'm sorry, but
Are they 100 right
they're
now?
100 right now, but I also believe that if you want to double it, then you should also then add $50, because I go out and sometimes spend a couple of hours out flagging and meeting the family and having, because sometimes they want to, not only do they have that space, but they want to physically put eyes on and improve where it is. I would say if we should go between 250 and 350. Like I said, we've had people that brought cremations from Colorado, Oklahoma,
We could,
Texas,
All
to
right.
bury them here.
can we, Mr. Chair, can
yeah,
we could probably adjust this at our, budget meeting next Tuesday?
actually, we could, write an amendment that changes the plot prices. Township board has the authority to do that,
Kim,
so,
I got a question too, it came up to me that, perhaps there needs to be some connection to the cemetery. People who live here, ancestors or whatever, instead of just people from all around the states coming in and doing it.
We researched all this in the
Did
spring,
you?
and we sent a list of proposals to the planning commission. They refused to do anything with it because they were working on a master plan.
Yeah.
And so, we've lost thousands of dollars just in sales. On top of now we're losing money because of the ongoing maintenance of these places. But most of the cemeteries in the area, you have to have a connection to the area, whether you are a long-term resident
Mhm.
or your family's long-term. In Elk Rapids, when you buy a burial lot, you have to assign a name to it right then. And you just can't buy it because maybe later somebody's gonna die and we'll put them in it. You have to have a name for that plot. Other cemeteries in the area limit what you can buy. Because 90% of your burials are cremations, and you can put 4 cremations into 1 burial lot. So with 4 lots, you have the ability to bury 16 people. You can also put a cremation on top of a full body. You could put 2, so you could have 3 people in 1 spot at that point.
I can tell you this, we budgeted $7,000 for the cemetery and we're already over budget by $1,668. That's how much we're
How many lots have we
spending.
sold this year, you know?
I don't know.
I have no idea, we'd have to go back to the register and
Well, you know, if you want to postpone this to the budget meeting, that would, if we could, somebody could figure that out, how many we sold, that would,
right. And how many plots we've sold,
you know, that's to give us a number to work with.
I can look at my budget worksheet.
yeah,
and
because
tell
we
you
can,
how much
we
we've
can amend that.
taken in. I don't know if that would tell you how many.
Well, and we run into this problem where we sold the 2 lots to the young man. And then when I got out there to survey him, I realized that the road runs over one of them.
Mhm.
So we had to refund
Half
one of his lots to him because it was unusable. And,
All right, I need to make a motion to approve the payment of the Ferguson quote for the leaf plow to be paid from 50% parks, 50% general fund.
Second. All right, voice vote, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Anything else?
Do we have a cemetery committee?
No. We need one.
Do we? You guys are asking for guidance on what the cemetery wants, right?
we're working on it, we're getting.
Well, I'm just wondering if, think the people that deal with it mostly is Angie and Craig.
Right, so you got,
We're getting it straightened out, it's just, it was ridiculous out there when both of us started looking into it and getting it straightened out.
basically the trio that's most about the cemetery is Margaret's band, deputy clerk. Angie, because she's right there in front of everybody, okay, and Craig, because he has to go out there and find them. So,
Angie is the point person. She's the one that's in contact with the sexton and with the funeral homes, trying to keep that loop of communication going.
so, I mean, if you wanna establish them as
Well, I mean, we need to have a contact point for these guys.
I've been in twice this week talking to Angie
Yeah.
about it, so we're working on it.
So you're happy with what way it's going right now?
Yeah, I mean, it's,
I'll
you
stay
know,
out of your business.
we'll get to the planning commission and we'll deal with it, but right now, we're trying to just get some facts and what works for this township and doesn't. And ordinance that the president has is just a copy of MTA's template cemetery ordinance, and it's worked okay, and a lot of townships use that, but ours needs a little tweaking to be better aligned with our needs here, and that's where we're at now. I've been talking with Angie and Christine some about putting that information so we can bring it to the entire commission.
Yeah, and either Angie or I, or both of us would be more than happy to sit with you guys and we have a list.
But it won't be long. That's not gonna be long.
Okay.
and basically put the local 2 cents worth in, incorporated into the ordinance. So some connection with the locality might be reasonable to expect. So,
Some connection to the area.
Oh,
area,
Can I add that, I was just recently, yesterday, was, told that another local cemetery had posted in the paper that some fall cleanup is going on. If you have things that you really want to keep and because it's hard to, I chased a couple of frog statues today, I chased flowers and them solar lights that are happening to be all over the place out there now.
I think the ordinance says that you can clear all that.
Yes, but it's gonna cause trouble for some of it, and I know that they're in violation of the ordinance, but it is the amount of what's gonna be created, if, at least give them a chance to pick it up. If I see something take off, I try to put it back, but there's times that I'm going along and all of a sudden, like I said, there's a dog statue in the leaves, and I don't know where it came from. I've been picking up the plastic flower pots, I've been picking up the rotten, nasty plastic flowers, the dead flowers. But some of the stuff, these little statues and knickknacks, give them a chance to pick them up. If I can not blow them around, if I can, leave them there, as I'm working, I can keep them from blowing off, I will.
Or if that can.
But it does take a lot longer.
So basically, a notice on the website,
Yeah,
in the paper, Halloween, come get your goodies from the
Yeah, if you don't have
cemetery,
it by
or they
Halloween,
will be removed.
I can't guarantee that it's gonna be safe, or however you wanna put it nicely.
Okay. Basically a cleanup ad for the cemetery.
I'm gonna write that.
Yeah,
I wanna send that
and
out
I'll
to the
bring that
board too.
Tuesday.
Tell me
so
what
it
you want,
gets
Jen.
approved
I've got a
before they're
cemetery,
done.
township cemetery page up with it there, some people are following that, so when you get it all figured
Well,
out.
and
Okay.
lately, we've had a lot of benches and just things that are violate ordinance, that it just appear there. And I don't ever see anybody, and I really don't know what to do at that point. We do have an ordinance that says one monument per, and all that other, but again, you're talking.
Basically, what you do is you hate to intrude on somebody's family memory.
Yeah, and there's a 93-year-old gentleman that has a chair out there, because he sits and talks to his wife,
Oh,
and y'all can tell him he can't do that? I can't.
that would be
I
hard.
can't.
Yeah,
They've agreed to take
Basically-
it, they've agreed to take it away in the fall for the winter. But, you know, thank Maury Scott is his name. He's
yeah, no,
very-
I understand that.
He's 92, 93, somewhere in there, and he goes up there and sits, and I just didn't have the heart to tell him he can't do that.
Okay,
Okay.
anything else?
No, sir, that's it.
All right, public safety, should I just take that committee off the agenda?
No, we did have some issues brought up. Our next scheduled meeting is this Monday coming up, so I think if it's okay with the incoming board as needed type thing, I think it still has a function. We haven't had any turnout, but I think it's still a purpose there.
All right,
No meeting last month, but like I said, one scheduled Monday at 7.
okay. Roads,
Do you have my written report? Any questions or?
Not all our plane, that's over here
It's off Bags
Yeah,
Road.
Bags Road.
There's a
on the right.
little, there's an island, that the box had broken up the.
It's hard to get in and out of there with that island.
Yes, and remove that, as well as there's several more houses going in there, and they were worried because it's on the prioritized list. That it might be paved soon, and they thought they would get the heavy trucks in and out first before we do it, so. I told them, I don't have anything to worry about, we're not doing it in 2025.
Do you think the River Street, can be done before winter? You think they have to go through another
She
winter to
told me she
spring?
could have the drawings done before winter, but I don't see how we can do construction on that.
And there's gonna be somewhat of a delay on Underhill Road, we're hearing, right?
That is correct. There,
We need to let the people in Underhill know that, and their expectations was October, so.
well, the bridge, spans are showing up to be assembled still in October, but the pylons, well, the existing ones haven't been removed. Obviously, the bridge is still there. And, they have pilings to put down. They did extend their permit to get, from Eagle and the DNR to continue construction through the winter. But of course, they can't pave over after the work is done until it's warmer, so, they said probably this paving will take place in spring.
Any word from Elmer's about possibly doing that little section on Walker?
Well, since they're not doing it till spring,
So bring it up later?
yeah, I haven't talked to him yet about including that. That was part
Just
of
so it could
our
be in their minds.
prioritization list, it wasn't
Yeah.
on there, so I mean, we're not really jumping around or anything, so. Yeah, I'll contact, in fact, when Elmer's is out there, sometime maybe I can, you know,
Just so it's on their mind.
yeah.
all right, is that it?
Dockery Road, we should probably talk about that just for a minute. There's a development going in about 2 miles south of M72. You get there going through Dockery Road, but there's some portions of Dockery Road that are seasonal. And it's not wide enough, and the sand is, it's sand. There's no, a lot of areas where there's no gravel in that, but anyway, the developer hasn't contacted and there's 22 house sites there, but the developer hasn't contacted us or Kalkaska Township where it's actually located. They have about 1.5 miles of Dockery Road to get there. We have about 0.5 mile. But anyway, the meeting we had on December 4th, both townships were there. Jim Roth was there, the state representative. I think he's hearing from either the developer or the people that are there. These are 5-acre home sites, quite expensive. It's like $250,000 just to buy the property, beautiful stuff. But the whole subdivision is pretty much paved and laid out, but to take a seasonal road to get there. I think that's why he's hearing some heat, and he came to this meeting proposing that maybe he could, get some type of a package deal for the county on several roads that are in bad need, rather than just shelling out money to pave one road, because you know, some rich people live out there in the middle of the woods and they don't have any kids. So, he's suggesting, after John Rogers told me it'd be probably close to $1 million to put Dockery Road into good shape to get people back and forth. He was thinking $2.5 million worth of road projects for the county, which would include Dockery and some of our more bad roads in the county.
Basically, I think what John said is, he said, you give me 5 million, I'll jump on it.
Yeah, yeah.
If you give me 5 mil, then Dockery Road's included in the package, we can do what we want with the rest of the money. He said, so I don't know. I think John was looking at somewhat less, but I think, you know, hey, aim high. Air Force. But
Other than that, there's October 29th from 11 to 5, some of you have seen the little flyer, there's some over on the table over there, road commission is having a meet your crew event, and they hired a food truck, Mexican food. They'll have some trucks set up with their new winter equipment and stuff, they encourage people to bring kids out to climb on the truck, and they'll demonstrate some of the new technology that's in the truck.
is that on their website or?
I'm not sure it's on their website. I've seen these posters.
It's on the building board.
Yeah, there's one back there.
Okay.
Door, huh?
Just wanted to make sure they were out there, in case anybody's interested.
I'll just say this, it will be in the newspaper probably next week.
Yeah.
So
Sell the road commission. Anything else?
That's it.
Parks and Rec.
We read through this, okay, Jenny?
I saw it, that was 2 days ago.
I'll just read it, and let you.
Yeah, I think that's it.
They are saying, because I'm gonna give this copy to you, but they said, since the Spicy Group is presenting at this meeting, we wanted the board to be reminded of what we've already acquired regarding.
Okay, this goes to the crossbow incident.
Well, it will eventually, but the first part of it is, we have already acquired regarding the breakdown of plans and cost estimates for Freedom Park East and West from the grant applications with GFA, as well as the original one done by Prina Newhoff. The estimates with GFA are only for those initial phases of work. The Prina Newhoff estimate isn't anywhere close to current, but does give a better idea of the entire scope of the project for Freedom Park, and we've discussed with them what was drawn up by GFA and that. It is also the recommendation of Parks and Recreation Committee that the Township Board discuss and consider asking the Planning Commission to create an amendment to Ordinance 20 in regards to prohibiting use and possession of weapons with exclusion of concealed to carry licenses. Please see the attached crossbow incident follow-up for further clarification. And then on Veterans Day, November 11th from 12:04, the partnering with local organizations, a Veterans Park opening celebration, which is up on M72. Which I believe is like 80 acres and parks. Josh Keel is working on that, taking that in, and it's really ambitious. What's happening, we had a veteran who had excavating equipment, volunteer to come over and do what needs, some stuff that needed to be done there for the price of the fuel, and they paid for the fuel. But, so that is gonna be November 11th, Veterans Day from 12 to 4, partnering with organizations. A Veterans Park opening celebration will be held. This is the park in the Parks and Rec Master Plan referred to as the Heritage Roadside Park. Please see the attached flyer for more details, and that's in there someplace. And they said we won't find out whether or not the DNR grant was approved until January. That was for Freedom Park. And then they told what they've approved of, to pay.
Just want to add one thing that the Veterans Park thing, they have a Coast Guard flyover scheduled. There's also going to be a food truck there, so.
The flyer for that is on the back table.
Ooh. Anyway, that part, the information about what has been done already.
Yeah, thank you.
So addressing the crossbow incident,
Basically prohibiting the use of possession of weapons. Now you're getting into Second Amendment issues, so.
yeah, I think they said, not including,
Sealed
Yeah.
carry, and you can open carry in the state.
I would recommend, I'd make a recommendation that we send this back to the planning commission to have a look at ordinance number 20. In
Right.
regards to this. It shouldn't take that long,
No.
this could be easily added.
It's just a language change, so sentence or two should do it.
Does our
Okay.
signage say no firearms right now?
So,
You got a gun-free zone.
but it wasn't a
I
gun.
know how that works. Okay, I'll second the motion and send it to the planning commission. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Mr. Cracker, you have another one. That shouldn't take long, though. Okay. Any other questions on Park and Rec? Okay, moving on. Anybody want to recess?
We're almost done, aren't we?
Okay, moving on. I got a hold of, Story Roofing on Monday, finally.
Oh,
Oh,
there was something about, during under Parks and Recs, we missed Heritage Ball Field meeting.
well, right there, is that where I can ask?
Oh, I mean,
the ball field maintenance. Basically, the, state law prohibits, operating anything motorized. Christine sent me that, I believe she sent it to the whole board. So, as far as Mr. Lund's disposition.
For Parks and Rec, I contacted 2 ball field restoration companies on Tuesday, emailed them about what it would take. Because I've always said that's over my head, I have no idea where to even start.
Yeah, for a properly
But
maintained.
if we had them restored and then had somebody maintain them, I don't think we're not gonna eat the elephant in one big bite. I think it needs to be done first and then have somebody just maintain it with those amount of hours. But it was just Tuesday when I emailed them. I haven't heard back from them yet. But I forgot here, I did talk to Story this morning. They will be here Monday. And I did, for Christine, we talked, I got with Chuck from Rapid City Auto. And he's agreed to, take on the maintenance for the township vehicles. And knows that he's not gonna be paid when we pick up the truck. He's gonna have to submit an invoice and all that. The only thing he told us, or me, was that, we should continue to have our oil changes done at Quaker State, because they'll do them $20 or $25 per truck cheaper, because they buy it in such bulk, but he'll do everything else for us, and it's right here local. Sorry, I forgot about that.
Okay, and that was, Chuck's place. And,
Chuck, Rapid City.
Rapid City,
Oh, in one direction.
Okay, well, we gotta have the service, so.
Yeah, it's somewhere that way.
All right. I don't see a problem with that. Any objection?
no.
Okay. So we're on to unfinished business. We said he'll be here Monday
It's good news.
and
I think you already talked about the state police report, didn't you already cover that?
Yeah, I did.
okay, I wanted to make sure we approved the contract, but the deposit on the roof, I believe, is $3,700.
Yeah, and I have not written that check yet. I will make sure that gets done.
Okay, I just want to make sure the board was aware of that for the materials anyway.
I think that's
And he should be out of here before voting starts on Saturday. Only a 3-day job.
Oh, then, yeah.
It probably won't be that easy anyway, so I don't think it will hurt anything.
Okay, and unfinished business B, state report, state police report.
We already covered that.
That's, I told you what
Okay.
he verbally said, and I asked him if you could email something, so I have something written instead, because I don't know how to transfer the.
Okay, well, if you
voicemail
get
over.
anything in writing, spread it out, so we see it.
I might be able to have it sent through Ring Central, have him give me a voicemail to township, because then it prints out what he says.
Okay, under new business here, I got, okay, yeah.
I'm,
The engineering plans now, basically, we had, I think, 2 sets of them. I think Trina Newhoff sent one. I can't find it anymore on the old website, or the website. And, I believe the other one was from, you, 7 years ago. Spicer,
We're talking about the township hall, I don't think we did the.
you didn't think?
No,
Okay.
is that the set of plans we rolled out?
And you're gonna make a proposal on that,
Yeah, I guess we were gonna pick it up, I think, after.
okay, yeah,
transition.
so, yeah, because they do have a committee that's, basically been established to go over that and, figure out what we need and what we want. But, yeah, that's another one that's years and years old.
I think one thing, if I may, Mr.
Go ahead.
I just think one thing needs to be considered too, that if we have a hazard or like a tornado or something, that building is supposed to be used for emergency use.
Yeah.
So that's something to consider when you're looking at this.
So it was a FEMA approved.
I heard, Tom broke it. I think Tom mentioned that when he first took over, it's FEMA approved, 100 beds. So do you remember saying something like that?
That would be,
Was it Greg?
That
the
would be,
FEMA disaster plan is,
that was the Red Cross majored that up. And
okay, and we're a designated Red Cross shelter
shelter in place,
as the,
same as the fire department.
fire department,
Okay.
so.
I have a friend who's a FEMA guy in Traverse City, he used to live on my mail route. I'll contact him and see what, if anything. FEMA
Yeah, what,
I mean,
maybe,
provides.
there's bathrooms, but there's no showers, the kitchen is, you couldn't.
Kitchen is-
For that many people, I mean,
well, the fire department has a better kitchen than we do. And then there's this one, so, we can probably scrape up a few meals.
Speaking of the kitchen,
What are the requirements?
I figured out I moved there June 20th. I have never been sick in a lot of years, but I believe there's mold in that kitchen. About 10 weeks, you can hear me. I'm still trying to find answers.
I thought that was from that pot,
Huh?
I thought that was from that pot.
The pot, I thought it was, and it could have started from that, but when I go into the office,
That was bad.
my sinuses start when I go in the office. So I did we have an ozonator, and I did take that in there, Saturday night, left it overnight, made my husband no, it wasn't either, Thursday night. Anyway, I made my husband get up at 7:30 to take it out, because they had to air out for 2 or 3 hours before John went in, and I warned John that I had done it. I don't know how much it's gonna have to do, but I tell you, the carpet, it is awful in there, and I would hate to see the new treasure. And if we can at least pull the carpet.
I
up or
don't know,
something,
we could have somebody come in and check for mold and.
that would be wise, but the carpet is disgusting.
Environmental engineering firm would handle that for it.
Yeah. You have anybody in mind?
It'd be nice to know for sure.
Okay, so we want a mold inspection.
Yeah. There's a company out of Mold Matters, company out of Traverse. I had come to my mom's house a couple times and checked.
But on the American Red Cross plan, the original plan was you was gonna house them and sleep them over there.
Yeah.
The fire department would feed them
Mm,
and bathe them, because we got 3 showers, we got an inline shower that puts out 8 gallons a minute of hot
Yeah.
water. And,
okay,
so, the question was, how do we get them from here to there and back and forth, and it was all that all right.
In case of emergency, we got a plan.
they could call it casino bus.
But, a couple of years ago, we had a windstorm, and we posted online that you could come in and take showers, and we had 18 or so people come in, took showers and did their phones and stuff, so.
Okay.
But the biggest thing they need to get, most people are very reliant on themselves, but they need to find a place to get portable water,
Mhm.
potable water.
Mhm.
Yeah,
A lot of them are using the Freedom Park pumps. You see them a lot there getting water. Actually, you see the tracks of vehicles going down to it. Can we go back to, because kind of skipped over, we were starting talking about the Heritage Ball Field maintenance, which Andrew Hulbert has done a lot of volunteer. He is one guy that, is like you'd like to clone him. He does a lot volunteer. And when he found out, I was explaining to Tom earlier, that Pro Image was doing the banners and the banner rods for the lamp post downtown. And I told him that how much it was $1,900 they were gonna charge to put those up. Well, Andrew's done that kind of thing before for a company he worked for, so I'll do it. So he did it. He's done 33 hours at different places when he was needed. He helped Craig do stuff that Craig didn't know how to do. And I just think at some point he should get paid something. And right now, because he saved us $1,900 by putting the banners and banner rods up, I'd like to, and that came out of the Metro Fund. I would like to make a motion that we pay him $25 an hour for at least the hours that he did.
this is for the banners and the brackets on.
Yeah, and we're gonna have more that we're gonna have to do, the brackets, so it's,
I don't think you can propose a motion for $25 an hour for the
Okay,
hours that he worked,
okay.
because we don't have any way of
Okay.
tracking the hours that he worked.
okay, what can we do?
I don't know, something different than that, you can't
But
go by
he saved
hours.
us $1,900 and,
You said he spent 8 hours on that,
mhm.
so, I'd make a motion for, at $25 an hour, that'd be, $200 to be paid, Andrew Halbert for his hanging of the brackets and banners on Rapid City Road downtown.
And we might have to get more, I'm not sure if we got new banner rods for all of them. Craig is gonna be putting up the wreaths for Christmas. I
Yeah.
do not know if they're broken. We might need Andrew's help again, and I would suggest, since he's been approved by the board to do work for us, I mean, we didn't name a price or anything, for things like that, when we need that Craig can't do, I would like to see him be hired very part-time. When we need him, we can call
Can we finish the motion
him.
first?
Yeah, okay.
Sorry, I'm trying to write that out,
I'm
and I'm
sorry.
not really listening to what you're
I
saying.
need to recuse myself from this, he's my stepson.
Yeah, basically, he saved the $1,700. So,
How do you spell his last name?
HULBURT,
URT?
well,
BUR.
he's not getting paid $65 an hour to hang banners. Which,
Oh, okay.
He spent several hours helping Craig with the sprinklers, because Craig didn't know how to do it. And,
So we have a motion on the
Okay.
floor by Backers, is there a second?
okay,
this is for the,
Motion to pay Andrew Hulbert $200 for hanging banners on the light posts.
and that would be the Metro Fund because it's a
Mhm.
street thing,
From Metro.
He also.
but basically they're Parks and Rec banners.
we're getting that straightened out.
Anyway, I have a second.
Are you not gonna second?
Oh, I thought someone had, I didn't hear that. Yeah, I'll second that, yeah.
Okay, voice vote, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? He's recused.
I think he helped put the lights on the tree too, didn't he?
Pardon?
Put the lights on the tree or helped with.
Okay, any other business before the Township Board? For our last board meeting?
Can we entertain?
Now, our Tuesday's meeting is a workshop, it's not really an actual meeting, we wanted to discuss cemetery amendment.
Plot cost mainly, right?
That would be a budget item,
Yeah.
Commercial
cemetery.
zoning application increase.
So, yeah, so that would be, and that is our budget workshop. But do we want to pick up the amendment too? So that would have to be on the agenda and have to be, on the notice. Because right now, it's
We've
just.
already noticed.
But, yeah, but can we do a special session?
If everybody's here, we can add to.
Okay, so that would have to be posted on.
If everybody's here, we can add it. If not everybody's gonna be here, we can't.
Well, that's.
I think we just go to, budget items and get it over with, let Jim handle it all.
Well, part of it is raising the prices.
Yeah,
Okay, and, the other is, an amendment to, localize the cemetery plots in some way. But that should be actually, that's a language change in the ordinance itself.
could we vote on
Which.
the increase tonight?
That's what I was thinking, I was gonna make a motion that we double the prices immediately.
But we need.
For the
a
cemetery, you
resolution.
have to have a resolution,
Why would we have to have a resolution if?
because that's what the ordinance says. The ordinance on the cemetery says
Okay,
that
it
the
says
price
by
changed
resolution.
by resolution, yes.
Okay,
Don't you have to
So,
do that anytime you might?
actually,
So it's fine, it can wait.
yeah, cause if you're gonna do the resolution, that takes some language, it takes a little time. So, anyway. Chair will entertain a motion to adjourn if there's no public comment.
Oh, anybody want to say anything?
I do have something actually.
Oh.
Verizon bill, are we still dealing with that or is that kind of closed out?
What's that?
Verizon bill on the phone?
I keep asking her every meeting, have you seen the check, the $1,250 check from Diversified Services Collection Agency? Which would settle the debt with Verizon because
Don't remember if that cleared or not, let me check.
I
We
know.
wrote that from.
One other suggestion, and I was either at your budget meeting that you have planned or.
Tuesday.
Maybe dedicate some funds from the ARPA fund thing for.
basically the first workshop.
Stuff.
The first workshop is a gathering of information. Okay, past expenditures, expected revenue.
But I mean, for the Spicer group, we kind of need some funds to get rolling on